Hi everyone, thanks for joining Stamp with Lisa Brown. Today we're going to be making this card and it's made with the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set. There are 10 stamps that come in here and you can buy it. It's available in a bundle and the bundle includes 16 dies. Before we continue on, I wanted to give you a tip. Stampin' Up! Sends their dies on this piece of cardboard with sticky strip, and they're all nicely arranged on here. I can't tell you how many times I've gone and I'm like, oh, I want to use this die, and I'm going to use this die, and I'm going to use this die, and then I can't get them back arranged to fit nicely on the piece of cardboard the way they came. So what I do is I take a photo of exactly how it came, and then I print that photo out and I actually put it on the inside of my case or wherever I'm storing my dies. That way I can look at it and I can rearrange them and get them all nested on there nice and neat. So I just thought I would give that little tip for you. So in our card today, we're using a card base done in Early Espresso. And I have simply taken a piece of Whisper white cardstock and I cut that to 5 1/4 by 4. And that's just going to get adhered on top like so. And then next I have taken my piece of crumb cake and a piece of the designer series paper from the Magnolia Lane. As you can see on the other side, there's the magnolias, but on the other side is this really pretty striped paper, and it's in petal pink. So on the layer of the card, if you were to do another layer, that layer would be 5 by 3 3/4. So what I did was I cut my 2 pieces at 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. So because each of these pieces of paper are 2 1/2, that equals your 5" for your next layer. But before we put those down, I'm going to emboss our crumb cake with the new Scripty 3D embossing folder. It's our new 3D folder. So I just want to make sure, I don't know if you can see the lines on it or not. The words are actually going this way, even though the folder's marked like this and opens up this way. So I just want to make sure that I'm going to put my paper in the correct way. And on the plastic, there's a line here, and it can be used as a guide to make sure that you're putting your paper in straight. So I'm going to actually line up my paper against that line as so. And I'm going to close that. Now this is Stampin' Up's new 3D embossing folder. So it still gives you a deep impression. However, when you're running it on your Big Shot, you are just going to use a standard platform. Here's the embossing folder with my paper. And I'm going to use our new 3D embossing plate. It's a special thickness that works with our 3D embossing folder. So I'm just going to run that through the Big Shot real quick. Some people have tried to make their own sandwiches with the other platform and using the new 3D embossing folders, and you can do that, but I have found it so much easier that I don't have to play around with how am I going to get my layer to the right thickness. The plate works excellent. So the paper is now embossed. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere my papers down to my Whisper white using my snail adhesive. And I'm just looking to see that I have an even border going around my sides. Okay. And then I can just meet these two pieces of paper up and lay them down. Okay. Next, I'm going to put a piece of the organdy striped ribbon in petal pink. I'm just going to lay that right across. Get my snips. Put a little adhesive on the back. And then what I like to do is on the ribbon, there's it's a little more solid edging. So I'm going to put that right over where the two pieces of paper meet. So it kind of hides that edge. And stick it down on the back. Okay. And now I can adhere this to my card. Okay, that's the easy part. I'm going to set this aside. On a scrap piece of paper, I'm going to take some Memento ink, and I'm going to ink up my Magnolia stamp. And because this stamp is a larger stamp, I like to take my ink pad to the stamp. It just gives me more of a solid surface to make sure that I am getting ink all over the stamp, so I get a good impression. Normally when it's the smaller stamps, I just take my stamp straight to the ink pad. Okay. And we're going to lay this down. Hopefully my paper is big enough here. Okay. And you just give it a nice good pressure. And there's my Magnolia. I'm going to clean it off on my chamois. My chamois is getting a little dirty. But I love it because it cleans the stamp so nice. Okay, good. Next, I'm just going to take some Stampin' Blends markers. They're the alcohol markers. And I'm going to give my flower a little color. I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper. When you are working with the blends, I will go through the paper, and I don't want it on my mat, even though I don't think I would be able to see that. But I'm going to take some old olive. This is the light old olive. And, excuse me, mossy meadow. And I'm just going to outline my leaves, all the veining. I'm just going to do it real quick. I don't want to totally color in solid. You can if you want. But I think sometimes less is more, and it gives it just a nice finish. So there's a whole product suite with the Magnolia Lane. There's some memory and more cards, and there's obviously the stamps and the dies, and there's some coordinating card. There's like they're bigger than note cards. It's like a card base with matching envelopes, and they have some really nice silver line in it. And I'll show you at the end of the video, I'll show you a project that we did in class using those cards. So again, I'm just doing this really quick, putting some lines in, giving it some color. If you haven't tried the Stampin' Blends, they're so easy to work with. Okay, and we just did that really quick. And then I just want to show you, you can, I don't know if I didn't blend a lot, but it does go through the paper, and that's why you usually want to protect your surface. So I'm going to take my dark petal pink blends, and I'm just going to color in the center of my flower. come on the outside of it just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to take my light, and the same thing, I'm just going to quickly outline my flower. I'm going to go a little bit thicker, so I'm kind of going on the side of my marker a little bit. We're going to do one final step to the flower, and it kind of blends it in where you almost don't need to have your flower all the way colored. Our little last final step really just makes it kind of come together. Okay, quick, easy, done. Okay. Oh, wait a minute, we forgot to do our stem. So I'm taking the dark mossy meadow, and we're gonna give our stem some dark color. Okay. Okay. All right, now I am going to go back to the big shot. I'm gonna get my platform back here. Okay. I'm bringing back in my my basic platform, my spacer plate, bottom cutting mat. All right, and then I'm going to take my image and the die. I'm going to cut this out. And it pops out just like so. And there's our magnolia. Okay. Trim it down, we'll put our magnolia down. We'll get rid of our plates here. Okay. So, get our card. All right. We are going to put some dimensionals on the back of the magnolia. I want it raised from from my card base. I'm just going to put a bunch of random dimensionals on. Okay. I think I want one more right here. And we also have mini dimensionals. I like to take these off with my scissors. They're little baby, little tiny dimensionals, and I'm going to put one right down here on the stem because I think the stem needs to kind of pop off the page a little bit as well. And then what I do is I take my fingernail and I press into the dimensionals. I know it's a little bit of an extra step, but it's going to save you a lot of frustrations because then they basically just flick off. Because when you press it down with your nail, it kind of raises the edge of the paper coating that's covering the adhesive. And then, so I'm just able to go in with my fingernail and pick them all off. Okay. And I'm going to put this on the card as so. And then we need to do our little sentiment. So I'm going to take my Memento stamp pad again, or ink pad, and we're going to stamp the hello from the Magnolia set. I think we'll go right here. I'm going to stamp hello. Okay. And I'm going to take the little die from the stitched nested label dies, and we're going to die cut this out. Okay. And what I love about these stitched nested label dies is when you take them out, not only, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the camera, but you have stitching on what you're cutting out. But then you can also take the next layer die, or you can take your scissors free cut or take your trimmer, but it also has stitching on this side. So you can actually use this as a frame. So that's why I like these. These are really nice. And they cut, all of Stampin' Up's new dies cut extremely, extremely well. All right, and then we're just gonna put a couple of dimensionals on the back of that. Okay. We're gonna stick our hello down. All right. Okay, so the final step to this card, and I don't know if you can see it on this, where it kind of pulls in the coloring a little bit, is, I'm not sure if you can, right there. We're going to add some Winka Stella to our Magnolia flower, because I think it needs a little bit of shimmer. So I'll just take my Winka Stella pen, and I'm just going to run it over all the petals. I'm going to get a little more of the liquid coming out. Okay. What's great about the Winka Stella, there's so much glitter and shimmer in the barrel of these that when you use up all the liquid in it, go ahead and refill it with rubbing alcohol. This actually will unscrew and it pulls off the top, and you pop off this little black cap. I'm not going to do it now because I usually use my teeth, and I'm not going to do that right now because there's a lot of shimmer in there and a lot of liquid coming out. But you can actually pop this out, and you can fill your barrel with rubbing alcohol and give it a little bit of a shake, and you will be surprised at how much shimmer is left inside of the barrel. And you can probably actually do that a couple of times. And then don't throw these away, because you can fill these with re-inker. You can fill it with alcohol and put a couple of drops of re-inker in it, and use it to watercolor with, or you can just add regular alcohol in it and watercolor with it. So the container of this is very useful even after all of the liquid is out and your shimmer is gone. You can also actually add a few drops of re-inker into this now, and you would have more of a colored shimmer. So just a couple of tips on that. But basically, that's our card today. And then earlier I was saying about how the Magnolia has a bunch of coordinating products that come with it. And let's see, what did I do with those? Oh, it's right here on my table. How about that? So there is, in the annual catalog, there is coordinating card bases and envelopes. I'm sorry, I'm digging here. And it's in this craft paper, okay? It's already pre-scored for you. And it's lined, it has these like frame on here it's already metallic or foil on there. And it's, so like I said, it's already pre-scored, so you just want to fold it over on that score and just give it a little press. We can even use our bone folder on there. And let me see, let me measure this for you because I can't remember the dimensions in my head. But it's definitely bigger than an A2. So it is 4 1/4 wide, but it's 6 1/4 inches long. Okay. And it comes with coordinating envelope. Okay. And on the envelope too, it has that same silver foil detail. So they coordinate like that. And they come with envelope liners, and the envelope liner coordinates with the Magnolia set as well. And it's already shaped for you. So all you would have to do is put a little bit of, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of adhesive. You're going to put a little bit more in yours. Slip this in the envelope. Get it centered. Okay. And you just press it down. Now you have an envelope liner. So you just fold this over, and when they open up, you have your envelope liner on there. So what I did was I took the Memories and More packet. Okay. In the Memories and More packet, you get a couple of different size of cards. You get the large ones, which you can also put on there. Look how cute this is. Together is the best place to be. You can simply put this on there and stamp a little flower and add some embellishments. And then, where's my small cards? Did I use them all? Oh no, here they are. They got buried. And then you have these half-size cards. Okay, so the smaller cards are 3 inches by 4 inches. And what I did was I cut a piece of petal pink cardstock, 3 3¼ by 4¼ and layered this over top. And I just simply adhered it onto the front of the crumb cake. Sorry, on the craft card. So here's our other card base. Okay. And when I put this down, it covers the inner silver line, but that's okay. We still have the outer silver frame. So you put that down and you just put this on top. And I embellished this one very simply with some rhinestones. Because the craft paper is a little bit of a thinner paper, on the inside, I opted to line the inside with some cardstock. And then I used some scrap designer series paper just to add a little element down there. So the inside petal pink piece is 4 inches by 6 inches. Okay. So you would just put this on the inside. So that was 4 by 6. And then I would go 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And that would be the inside of your card. So this is another coordinating product that goes with the Magnolia Lane Suite. I have been showing my hostess code for the month of August. That is going to be live until the 31st. So if you want to shop with me, go ahead, and my website is stampwithlisabrown.stampinup.net, and shop with that hostess code, and you'll get a handmade card made with something from the Magnolia Lane Suite. And also until August 31st, we have a promotion going on. If you want to join my team, you can pick $155 worth of product for $99. So normally you get $125, and for the rest of the month, they're giving everybody an extra $30 in product. And then they are also giving you a $10 bonus coupon to use in the month of September. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for about 8.5 years, and I've never seen a promotion as as good as this one, that where you can pick anything that you want. There's been some other pretty good promotions, but they kind of tell you what you're going to get. But with this one, you can pick anything out of the catalog for your $155. And then that also ships for free. Okay, any questions? Go ahead and contact me and leave a comment. And don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Stamp with Lisa Brown. Thanks and have a good day. Bye-bye.